In this video, we are going to talk about cloud computing service deployment models, right? So when you have applications, how do you deploy the applications in the cloud, right? So we have talked about the security issues or the security and privacy issues related to holding our databases. Let's say I'm building one application and I have the database which is storing the credentials, right? So if I am surrendering my whole application in the cloud, if I am putting my database, my application, right, I am deploying it there, my code, everything is in cloud, we are actually surrendering complete data, complete application with the cloud provider, right? And later you want to change the cloud provider, it is difficult for us to do that. Okay, because you are so tightly bounded with that provider and your application is working for so long, and it is very difficult for us to migrate that application from one cloud provider to the other provider, right? So it is very important to know how do you place, how do you set up your application, your database, your what all transactions happens in that, where will you store the banking part of that, or where will you store the credential part of it. This design has to be taken care properly. So that we talk here, we have different types of service deployment models in cloud, right? So the standard reference architecture proposed by NIST, it comprises of service attributes, which are the characteristics of cloud, which we have studied, and then service models, that is 3 different types of service delivery models we have, and then we have 4 different deployment models, right? So public, private, hybrid and community. These deployment models talk about the location and management of cloud infrastructure, right? So how do you place your cloud infrastructure, how do you place your cloud services or your application, and how do you manage them? That's what we are going to study in these deployment models. So we have 4 different cloud deployment models: public, private, hybrid and community. Let's talk about each one of them, right? So the first one is public cloud. So it means the public cloud makes it possible for anybody to access systems and services. I will say AWS is a public cloud because anybody can access it. Anybody can log in, create account, and in fact Azure and GCP as well, right? Anybody can go create account, use them, right? They want to deploy some application, they want to store some data, anything can be done, right? But the public cloud may be less secure as it is open to everyone. Since everybody is accessing the same cloud, right, we do not know whether the code or application or the data is it secured or not. Okay, so a public cloud is a cloud service offered to multiple customers by a cloud provider. So single AWS is used by thousands of people. Thousands of companies are using the AWS services, right? The term public cloud is used to differentiate between the original cloud model of services accessed over the internet and the private cloud model, right? So I can even create a private setup in my own infrastructure, in my own premises. I can have one private cloud. Okay, so public clouds include these services what we generally see, right? If you see this here, there is a public cloud which is many people are using it, whereas in private cloud only you create a cloud and you use it. Okay, so this is about public cloud. And advantages: minimal investment because they are very cheap, no setup cost, it's readily available for you, infrastructure management is not required, that's also taken care by them, no maintenance from your side, and dynamic scalability. You are not worried about any of the aspects, and it is fully scalable. The only disadvantage is it is less secure and low customization. You cannot customize some of the services in cloud because they are providing it, we are just use it. We cannot do any customization in the services. And why we are saying less secure? Because since it is taken care by them, we cannot guarantee whether there is security, whether the code or application is secure or not. The next one is private cloud. It is exactly opposite to the public cloud. This is a one-to-one environment for a single user. We create it, we do not give it to, we do not use other third-party cloud platforms, right? A private cloud is a cloud service that is not shared with any other organization. That is private cloud. So we have a setup, only we are using it, nobody else, right? So the difference between both public and private is that how you handle all the hardware, right? How you handle all the hardware. because hardware, even when you are having a private setup, you have to take care of the hardware. When there is scalability, you have to take care of that. You have to add more infrastructure to that, right? This private cloud is also called as internal cloud, because I am having inside my company, inside my organization, it is internal cloud, and it refers to the ability to access systems and services within a given border or organization. So this is about private cloud. Here advantages is that you have full control. Since it is your own setup, you have full control. Your data security and privacy can be achieved, right? It supports legacy system. This is an important point. See, the public cloud, they give some setup, they have some frameworks, they have some services, only that we can use. But if there is something, a legacy application like mainframe, that and all you want to put in cloud, you cannot, because they are not offering that. So you have to take care of that. So the private cloud support this, because you can customize it and make a setup for the legacy systems. And there is full customization. Since it is your private cloud, you can design it however you want it, right? Disadvantages: less scalable and costly. You cannot share others. See, when I am using a public cloud, this fellow is using, other three are not using, then this person can fully use this. Since others are not using it, he can expand his requirement, and cloud will provide to you that, whereas in private you have to purchase it and you cannot scale. Scaling is difficult. And the third one is hybrid cloud, right? So you see here the diagram, combination of public and private cloud. So combines, hybrid clouds combine one or more public clouds with a private cloud, one or more public cloud with a private cloud, or with on-premises infrastructure. Okay, so you are having some part of it in public and some part in private. Almost all hybrid clouds include at least one public cloud. So at least one public cloud has to be there, as shown here. An organization may use their private cloud for some services and their public cloud for others, or they may use the public cloud as backup for their private cloud, right? So this way, anyway, some or the other way, you have to, if you are integrating public cloud and private cloud, it becomes the hybrid cloud. Okay, they can also use the public cloud to handle periods of high demand. So when I am running my whole application in private cloud only, but when there is huge demand, I can take advantage of public cloud, while keeping most operations within their private cloud. Just taking small advantages of the public cloud, right? So here, flexibility and control, because you are managing, your everything is in private only, but for some purposes you are using public cloud, so you have the flexibility. And cost, because you are taking advantage of public cloud, your cost can go down. And security, because you are putting everything in your private cloud, right? Disadvantages: difficult to manage, because integrating public and private becomes difficult. It's a challenging task. And slow data transmission. Transfer of data from public to private or vice versa is also a challenging task, right? So these three. Then the fourth one is community cloud. Okay, so this is also another variant of cloud. Hybrid clouds combine one or more public clouds with a private cloud. We know this, right? So So in community cloud, it allows systems and services to be accessible by a group of organizations, right? So it's a distributed system that is created by integrating the services of different clouds to address specific needs. Okay, in community cloud, you are actually, multiple organizations are forming a group together, and they are trying to access the services. Okay, so it means people are creating the cloud, but it is also, see, we are creating a cloud. There is one cloud provider, service provider. It is not by one person. It is created by multiple organizations. Okay, they themselves are coming together and using it. Previously, if you see public cloud, one person is creating this, multiple people are using it. But here, multiple people are creating this. Okay, right? So the infrastructure of community cloud could be shared between the organizations which has shared concerns or tasks. Whoever wants that, they can use it. It is generally managed by a third party or a combination of one or more organizations in the community, right? So this is created by a group of companies. Benefits here: it is cost effective, because you all are coming together based on your needs. 4 or 5 people are forming a group based on their needs. They are forming a group and they are working on it, right? It is secure because again it's kind of a private only few people are creating. Shared resources and collaboration and data sharing. Since you are collaborating with other organizations, there is the chance or more scope for collaboration. Drawbacks here, limited scalability. Again, it is kind of a private but used by multiple people, right? Rigid in customization, you cannot customize it because it is very difficult, because you are setting it in agreement with all four people's views or as per their requirements. So it is very difficult for you to customize this hybrid or the community cloud, right? And finally, there is one term, multi-tenancy. Multi-tenancy. Because multiple organizations share a public cloud, multiple organizations will sometimes be using the same physical server at same time. Say I am the cloud provider, I am having some 100 TB space, company 1 requests me 20 TB, I give them 20. Another company requests me 30, I give them 30. Somebody else comes and requests me 60, I am giving them 60. Okay, then say I am giving them 60% of the space. If you see, there is something which is used commonly by both of them. I know that they will not be using the requested amount of space. So this is called multi-tenancy. If a single space physical server is shared by multiple people, right, then that is called multi-tenancy. Multi-tenancy is when multiple customers of a cloud provider are accessing the same server. Data from two different companies could be stored on same server, or processes from two different applications could be running on the same server, right? A single server shared by multiple people. This is about multi-tenancy, right? So this is the story about different cloud service deployment models, right? Thank you.